Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Quick head shave and face shave today. I'm going to do a Simpsons brush shave, the big one on the head, the little one on the face. I'm going to be using a relatively cheap, inexpensive and readily available shaving cream along with my now current sort of pre-shave lather boosting soap, which is Williams mug soap, which looks like that. This is the current modern formula. I'm not sure whether they still make it. I think someone said they may have stopped making Williams, I'm not sure. So all I do with the puck is just rub it all over my head and face when I get to my face. And that's it, that's all I do with it. It's pretty much dry now, there's a little bit of moisture still on it. Just moving my mirror at the back. I don't know whether you can see it over there, but sometimes you can see it on the camera, it just shows the back of my head. Now the brush, actually I'll show you the cream first. The cream is going to be this ladder shave from Palmolive Mine. It's a sort of light green coloured soap cream, which I quite like. New improved formula. I'm trying to see where this one's made. I think this made in Italy from local and imported ingredients. It's not a massive tube. It's quite a small tube in terms of what it is. And has it got the, I'll just have a quick goosey gander at the ingredients because I don't think there's a lot in this. Aqua, stearic acid, glycerin, potassium hydroxide, coconut acid, coconut oil, sodium hydroxide, fragrance or parfum, sodium silicate, potassium chloride, cocos nucifero fruit extract, which is coconut extract, I think. Hydroxyohexyl, 3-cyclohexene, carboxyldehyde, limonene, CI19140 and CI42090. There we go, that's the ingredients list right there if you want to have a look. So reasonably clean, and then you get a couple of dodgies at the end. I don't know what they are, I don't really care, I can't be arsed. But comes in a little tube like that, which I'll be opening with my teeth in a minute. I don't think I can get it in my fingers. Oh, I can't get it in my fingers, brilliant. Right, the brush. I'm just going to try and get hold of it here. I had a little bit of soap on my fingers there from the Williams. So you know what the brush is because I just used it yesterday. It's going to flick out most of the excess. It's the Simpsons Chubby 2 in Best Badger, 27mm Best Badger knot. That's the knot there. Now this thing blew me away yesterday when I used it. I'm so impressed with it, I really am. And I'm quite annoyed with myself that I haven't managed to try one before. But they are expensive. It's £127.90 I think for that brush without shipping. That's a lot of money. So you're looking at about $250 to $300 Australian for a shave brush, which is a lot considering it's just a plain ivory looking type handle, plain cream handle, but the knot is what you're paying for, and you really get what you pay for with it. It's brilliant. It's far superior to any sort of cheaper badger knot that I've used. It's the best badger knot I've used, best natural hair knot I've used. That says a lot. I've used Morrison Fondre and I've used Declaration Grooming. So here we go, I'm going to pop a bit of this so it looks like that in the tube. I'm going to pop a bit of that on top of the brush. Probably way more than I need. So just a pleasant scent. It's not, you can see that sort of green colour to it. It's quite nice. And here we go. Let's just start sort of smashing it about. I'm expecting good things from this brush on a head lather because it's so dense. It's also so soft, but it's got amazing scrub. It's got what I would describe as a comfortable scrub, a really soft but luxurious scrub. Now, I'm still one-handed, as you can see, and I will be until the 1st of November when this cast comes off, and then probably for a while still because I won't have any strength in my arm. It's amazing how quickly your arm strength disappears when you chuck a cast on it. In the first 9 days of when I had the initial cast put on, when the initial break was diagnosed, the loss in strength in my wrist and elbow was massive, and I definitely lost a little bit. I lost a good bit of size as well as the muscles are degrading in there. Which brings me back to Willy Wonka, when Charlie's grandfather gets out of bed, manages walking. Yeah, bullshit mate, if you've been in that bed for 20 years, there's no way you're standing up and walking. Disgusting teaching kids that. Very comfortable to hold, and the thing I love about it, for some reason it just doesn't seem to get near the base of the knot, the lather, so it's not a messy brush. I was expecting it to be extremely messy. Now my Morrison Fondren 3-band blonde badger, which is now over with Kyle at Brown Man Shaves. It was a very messy knot, a very messy brush. I used to find a lot of the times I got a lot of lather all over the handle and all over my hands. And it was a very dense fan knot. Very, very dense. Very similar to this in terms of denseness. But this knot is hands down far superior. And yet this is, I think this is Simpson's cheapest knot here. And I have heard it's the best as well, even though it is the cheapest. In Manchurian, I think they do a silver tip as well. Manchurian silver tip, I can't remember. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't need any more than that. I'm shaving with a cartridge razor today, so I'm not too fussed about having a voluminous lather, but as you can see, that's still superb. Right, the razor for today is the Gillette Skin Guard. 2 blades, very well spaced apart. It's got the little cutting edge on the back there as well, just on there, which assists in getting under your nose and if you're cutting your sideburns straight or whatever you're using it for, but it works very, very well. It's almost like a DE razor in terms of how comfortable it is, but it's easier to get right in there because it's so narrow. Just works an absolute treat. You've got your swivel head that way and your pivot that way. It just works really well, and in my opinion the best cartridge razor on the market at the moment. I haven't used obviously everything. I haven't used all the Shicks and all the other brands that are out there, Dollar Shave Club and Harry's and everything else that's going to defend it, but this one for me, out of everything I've tried, is far superior to everything else. And it's only got 2 blades, they're very thin. I'm just going to go directly against the grain because I know how smooth. Oh, so smooth. Now there's one thing I know already. With this razor, with one hand I can get a BBS shave, I can tell you that right now. So I'm going to try this, see if I can get in there with that cutter. That's a bit dangerous. Now I'm not going to get BBS first pass, I don't think. I doubt that very much. But I reckon I'll be pretty close. This is really slick. This cream and Williams mug soap, it's super, super slick. You can see how easily it rinses out, just a quick flick in the sink. See, as you can see again, boom, nice and clear. Now I'm always going to receive, you can see how that's actually cutting the hair off so well. You always receive criticism when you use these razors, because they're not eco-friendly, or environmentally friendly, whatever you say. They're not, they're full of plastic. They're full of things that aren't good for the environment. I really do wish they could come up with something that was eco-friendly, whether it be a biodegradable version of plastic, just anything just to make these razors better for the environment and better for us wet shavers, so we don't cough a mouthful of abuse when we use them. Well, not abuse, I haven't had any abuse from using one, you know, at the end of the day. I think people still, on the majority, on the whole, respect one's decision to use any shaving tool that they want. But I'm also a person that believes in speaking your mind and telling the truth and saying it as it is. I say it myself, I don't enjoy using these because of the fact they're eco-friendly. And not eco-friendly, I enjoy using them because they shave. In my opinion, this at least shaves better than DE razors and straights and chevettes, you name it. Shaves better. It's quicker, it's smoother, it's more efficient. And with this one in particular, I don't tend to get any issues with ingrown hairs. If I daily shave with it, 2 days in a row I'm okay. 3 or 4 days I do start getting, believe it or not, ingrown hairs, which is a bit strange. But I do start getting a few little issues. But I still get ingrown hairs with DE razors, straight razors, chevettes, single edge, you name it, I still get ingrown hairs. It does not eradicate it. No matter who tells you it does, it doesn't. I've been doing it for long enough now and I've used enough razors and blades to tell you that double-edged shaving, traditional razors don't eradicate ingrown hairs or issues at all with shave. They do help in reducing it, but they don't eradicate it. Now, you can see there's still a lot of soap in my head, but there's a little bit of hair just there, and everywhere else there's a little bit there. Everywhere else is pretty much BBS, and that is the beauty of the skin guard. People keep saying, oh, but it's not taking all the lather off. Well, it doesn't, because what happens is the lather passes through the first blade on the bottom, over the top of that little plastic insert in the middle. Then your second blade does its work, and then the lather actually flows through it behind that last blade and back onto your skin. And that's why it's giving you that constant slickness, that constant cream on your head. So it doesn't actually wipe it all away like a safety razor or a straight. It actually leaves a lot of the soap on there, but it is still cutting efficiently and smoothly. And if you've used it before and you didn't get a very good shave from it, I think it's more of a mental thing than, oh god, this knot is amazing. More mental than actually a physical thing. This razor cuts well. It's very smooth, it's very efficient, it does its job. Yeah, this is easily my favourite brush. It's not my favourite handle. I really like the handle. For some reason, the Taj from Simog gave me a real appreciation for the sort of faux ivory or cream or whatever you want to call it handles. And I do love the look of that handle. And as you can see, there's a little bit of cream getting on there now, but nothing major. So I'm just going to pretty much clean all this off again. Now with the skin guard, you can really go to town with the pressure. You really can push very hard with this razor and cause yourself no real issues at all. So slick. It's getting to the point now where there's no hair to cut. There's a few little bits here and there, and the razor's making no noise. Like there. I mean, that's just razor on skin. And yeah. Oh, a little bit of feedback there, but it's not much. There's a bit of hair there, there it is. Found it. And it's gone. You hear that feedback change almost immediately once that hair's been removed. A little bit there, and it's gone. Honestly, what more can you ask for? 2 quick passes with a cartridge razor, and I'm closer than I can get with a DE, quicker, no irritation, no pain. No cuts, no weepers, no nothing. Oh, there's a little bit just there. this Williams mug soap really does take your standard shaving creams and stuff, or your normal stuff, onto another level of slickness. Definitely adds to the post shave a little bit, it definitely adds to the actual shave itself big time. It helps boost the lather, gives you a bit more slickness. Just touching up a few bits there. Oh, yes. Did someone say BBS? Oh yes. Super. Right, let's pop these towels back up. Freaking nightmare, the one-handed man. I'm just going to rinse my brush out now. I should really just use this brush for the whole shave, but I want to use a little wee Scot. The one thing I like about this brush, the bigger brush, the 27mm, it's so easy to clean. I didn't lose any hairs there, I don't think, at least. I may have done, but I don't think I did. So it's definitely not a shedder so far, and I'm really happy about that. I did just find out yesterday as well that the gentleman that traded the brush with me does watch the channel, and he's happy that I enjoyed the brush. I'm more than enjoying this brush. This brush is exceptionally brilliant. Just going to dry my hand first. So this is how I basically towel off my brush at the end. Just takes a lot of the moisture out of the tips, allows it to dry faster. Now, someone on it's called the Aussie Wet Shaving Enablement page on Facebook, asked about how you dry your brushes. I dry my brush like that. I leave it like that on the table when it's done. The logic being that evaporation goes that way, it goes up. If you leave your brush like that, any moisture that's in the knot is going to take longer to go away, because it will try to go up as it evaporates, and it can't leave because it's stuck inside. That's the theory in my head. So to leave your brush like that, I've never had a problem with smelly brushes, mould issues at all, based on the theory that evaporation has to go up, and that's the logic behind it for me. Right, I've just wet the brush just in the sink there while I was cleaning that one off. Leave a little bit of moisture in there. Fill the sink up. I'll wet my face. Get my Williams mug soap. Now, as you can see, my skin actually looks pretty good still. From 4 days daily shaves with the Tatara Nadachi. Now, I'm sure most people will agree that the above the tie handle made the Nadachi look better. It really did, in my opinion. I thought it looked much nicer than what it did with the Nadachi handle, and that's just a personal preference for me, but I'm pretty sure most people would think the same. I'm just going to pop the cream on top of the brush again. The brush is the Simpsons Wee Scot. I'll just show you that a little bit closer on the handle, the knot. So that is the knot there. I've got a little bit of cream on the top, and here we go. This little brush is absolutely sensational, and it really holds the heat. Like right now, this is lovely and warm on my face. I'm using warm water today. But the amazing thing with this little brush I think it's a 13mm knot, so it's tiny. So it's less than half the size in diameter to the knot I just used for my head shave. Wait till you see this little thing, ladder. Of course, hopefully the audio is better on this video. The last time I used this brush on video, I sounded a bit like a chipmunk on helium mixed with Darth Vader inside a tunnel with someone rustling crisp paper bags. I mean, once again, for such a small brush, there's a little bit of lather on there, but it's not a messy brush to use. And I put that down to the quality of the knot and how it releases the lather, definitely. I mean, really, in all honesty, if you can get your hands on one of these, grab one. Look at the amount of lather in that. It's a tiny knot. Now, I got 3 passes and a touch up. Last time I used it, I think I used the Elvado. It'll be interesting to see if I can get the same from this one, from this cream. So, once again, the skin guard. My skin needs a bit of a break. This will give it. So you can see it takes off most of the cream, most of the lather, but it leaves a little bit on there. And that's just the way this brush works, this razor works. You know, there's a lot of flow through on the back. It doesn't take all the lather away. And you guys out there that have been shaving for long enough will know that the lather is what gives you the protection. The more lather left on your face when you're shaving over and over again, I can keep going over that. Eventually it will take it all away, but it lets me do it. I mean, you can hear it's cutting because the more I go over the same bit, the less audible feedback you hear. It's as simple as that. Right, a little bit of water. It's so slick because it's left so much of the soap behind that you can see there. I mean, I could shave the whole face, honestly, just for the slickness that's on there, using this razor in particular. But why would you want to when you've got the wee Scot loaded up? Lather number 2, with quite possibly the smallest brush in the world. I'm not sure if it is, but it won't be far away from it. Just going to dip the tips. It's got a great amount of scrub as well, believe it or not. It's got a little sort of rubby, scrubby sort of feel. It's really nice. It's got no scritch or scratch. Now look, it lathers up an absolute charm. The brush has still got loads in it for the 3rd pass, which someone actually mentioned on the channel. You don't need 3 passes with a cartridge razor. No, you don't. You definitely don't. I could quite easily get almost a BBS shave here with this razor. But I like doing 3 passes. And with this razor, it's so smooth and comfortable and I don't get any irritation. Why not do 3? Gets under the nose amazingly well, that little tool. It's It's just an incredible razor. There's a lot of grip on this razor as well. That's against the grain there, and I don't feel it cutting. I don't feel any pain, no tugging, no pulling, nothing at all. I get that from pretty much every other razor. That tugging, sort of annoying, irritating feel. I really wish I could shave against the grain like Paul H and Kevy Shaves and Ken Surf, CDB, Spencer, you name it. Everyone pretty much on YouTube can shave against the grain, and I can't. And it's not through lack of trying, I can assure you. I've tried conditioning my skin to it, I've tried doing it over and over again, and it just doesn't help. Right, lather number 3 from the wee Scot. Now I've seen other people use this brush. Ken Surfs is one of them. Kevy Shaves. I don't think I've seen anyone actually use it without going back to the soap or the cream and get lathers like this. I mean, that's thick, creamy lather. It's dense, it's slick. This has actually really surprised me, because that cream on its own and the soap on its own aren't that great, but these two together are superb. Just effortless. Against the grain, anyone? Tell you what. Now I'll probably have some issues with ingrowns from doing this. I'm just showing you that I can do it comfortably, efficiently, smoothly and quickly without any pain, any tugging, any irritation that I can feel so far. And you're about to see that underneath all of this and all those strokes and everything else, I've got no real redness, no cuts, no weepers, no nothing at this stage. Yeah, I don't get closer shaves than that. I really don't. I cannot get that close with a double edge razor, straight razor, chevette, single edge razor, you name it, traditional wise. I can't get that close and that comfortable. I've got no irritation, There's obviously a little bit just from the shave in general, but in terms of what I would get from a DE, if I tried to do that, I would be in pain. I'd have red marks everywhere, I'd have lots of soreness, tight skin. I would end up with ingrowns, no doubt about it. I might end up with ingrowns with this, but in terms of closeness, I mean, that's BBS on my chin, my cheeks, under here, it's just BBS everywhere. It's amazing. Maybe not on my lip, because I've got, believe it or not, another bloody cold sore, because I'm not sleeping well. It shaves better than anything I've ever used, and I have to be honest about it. The Gillette Skin Guard, for what it is, yes, it's a cartridge razor, yes, it's plastic, yes, it's not environmentally friendly, yes, they're maybe not the most customer focused company in the world, definitely not. They've pissed a lot of people off over the last 12 months with advertising and things. You cannot fault the design of the razor, you cannot fault the share of it. Well, I can't fault it. Everyone's got their own opinions. Some people I find in this hobby get blinded by the traditional way of shaving, and cartridges are just no good, disgusting, vile pieces of shit. They're not, they're really not. And if you've been thinking about popping for one and giving one a try, I highly recommend this one. If you've got issues with sensitive skin, try this razor. Just try it, honestly. If you can find it on special, it is worth just putting in your den for those days when you just want a quick, comfortable, efficient shave that outdoes anything else in the den, and it outdoes all my razors in the den. I love my DE razors. I love shaving with them. I love the whole process and the enjoyment of it. So I'll never leave, and I'll always have them, and I'll always use them more than cartridges. But they have their place. They offer something unique for me, which is a BBS shave all over without any irritation, and I think that in its own is worth every single penny. It's obviously adding to the detriment of the environment, but there's the boy's phone ring. Right, I'm going to finish off now with, once again, Bluebeard's Revenge. Or am I? Yes, I am, yes. So I'll pop that on the head first. Now, of course, you've been watching me do my head and face with one arm. I haven't had a shave that close at all with any double-edged razor with one arm. Wow. What a shave. I mean, what more can I say about it, really? The brushes performed absolutely phenomenally well. The razor is the best in the den, really, for shaving. It's sad reality, but it is. So, started off today with Williams Mug Soap. Like that, just a solid little soap. It's really hard, so it's going to last a while the way I'm using it. The actual shaving software for today really was Palmolive Men Lather Shave. Regular cream, green colour, not really any scent to it. It's got a very light, soapy, clean scent, but that's it. The brush for the head shave is an absolute champion. Best brush in the den for lathering. Not the best brush looking, although it is a stunning little brush, but it's by far the best knot in the den. It's better than my synthetics, to be honest. I enjoy this more. And it's got a beautiful scent on it now between the lather shave and the what did I use yesterday? Bluebeard's Revenge? Can't remember. The Simpson Wee Scott for the head face shave. What a brush this thing is. This is blowing my mind. I'll see if I can lift both of them up next to each other just to give you an idea. You can see it in the photograph, but that's the difference there. Look at that. Slightly lighter colour than the Chubby 2. The Chubby 2's definitely got a more creamy colour, whereas the Wee Scott's a little bit lighter. It's almost white on the side of the cream spectrum, if that makes any sense. The razor for today, which really, the brushes are the star of the shave, but this is an absolute beast of a cartridge razor. And if you're thinking about a cartridge or you use cartridges and you've never tried this, I highly recommend it. I think personally you'll not find a better shaving cartridge. Unless you've got super dense, heavy, thick growth, it might struggle. I've got heavy growth, I've got thick hair as well, but that mows through it, and after 3 passes I'm left with no cuts, no weepers, no irritation. BBS which I don't get with any other razor, and that's pretty exceptional for me. And finished off today with Bluebeard's Revenge Cooling Moisturiser, which is once again a great scent, great performing product. It's almost finished. Once it's done, I'll move on to something else. I'm trying to reduce my post-shave products to exactly what I want. That's not one of them, but I do enjoy using it. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the shave. I absolutely loved it. It's the wife's birthday tomorrow. She turns 40 tomorrow. So I'm heading down to pick up some nice food for her 3-course meal that I'm cooking tomorrow with the kids. Well, the kids are actually going to cook it all, I think, at this stage. We'll see how we go. I should be having garlic prawns, creamy garlic prawns for starter. I'm going to do some pork Diane for dessert, for dinner, and then for dessert I'm going to make a paleo banoffee pie made with all natural products, natural sugars and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got some other things booked for her tomorrow. She's got some lovely gifts, and obviously we had the trip to Canada as well this year and the UK. So you guys stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys possibly tomorrow, but most likely Monday. Cheers.